In this first film, we're going to focus on the first two elements, time of day and reading the water, in terms of figuring out how to decode the current to find holding spots and taking spots. Like us, the sea trout has a daily rhythm, which is biologically controlled. When the small fish hatches in the river, it is depending on cover from birds of prey above and places, where it can hide so that it won't get caught by other predators. When the fish becomes bigger and merges up to the river again from outside in the ocean, this behavior is still apparent in the fish. So during the daytime, the fish will find places to hide, and at night they'll move out. Now, when the fish find places to hide, these can be under trees, under vegetation, hollow brinks, tree roots and places like this. We call these spots holding spots. Often these are deeper parts of the river where the fish feel safe. At night time or in the morning, the fish move out into the more shallow parts of the river. Here it's out to guard its territory. Here it becomes aggressive. We call these places for taking spots. So when we're fishing the holding spots, the fish will be hiding. We have to get down deep. Normally, if the river is clear, surface strategies might be possible, but when it's deep and murky, it's my experience that surface strategies are not that effective in the holding spots. Whereas if you move out into the taking spots, which are more shallow, surface strategies become more effective in murky waters. So where the fish is placed during different times of day has a lot to say in terms of choice of strategy. This spot right here has some of the things that we're looking for when we're looking for a typical sea trout, both holding and taking spot. Upstream from me we have a more shallow part, and then here we have the stream being brought together by vegetation falling into the river. So you've got vegetation on the other side, and you've got vegetation that is falling into the water on your own side. If we look further down, the stream becomes more deep, and we have trees on the other side, and we have trees in our own side as well. And roots are particularly good for creating places where the fish can stand. The best sea trout angler is one who is good at keeping himself hidden. This means a lot when you approach the water. If you stand right here on the brink, you become very visible to the fish. It's very easy for them to see you. Whereas if you keep your distance and stay far away from the brink, you become less visible and you fade into the background more easily. Now there's a good point here. You can use your rod. So if the tip of the rod is lying right on top of the brink, this is a good position because you can still maneuver the rod and the line so you don't get caught up in whatever vegetation you have, and still you're far away from the fish. This spot is a place where I have a bit of vegetation out into the river, and I'm standing high on the brink. In a place like this, it's really hard to keep hidden if I stand up here. So what I like to do here is I like to move closer to the river, but then get down so I hide myself behind the vegetation that you find in front of you. In this way you become very hard to see.